The rain-slicked streets of Seattle gleamed under the sodium lamps like veins of molten silver, but inside the dim locker room of Roosevelt High, the air hung heavy with the metallic tang of sweat and unspoken accusations. Alex Rivera, a lanky 17-year-old with tousled dark hair and eyes that held too many secrets for his junior year, slammed his locker shut, his heart pounding as if it might crack his ribs. His phone, his lifeline, his vault of hidden snapshots, was gone, vanished from the bench where he'd left it during basketball practice, and in that instant, he knew. Someone in this room had just stolen more than metal and glass. Alex's fingers trembled as he rifled through his backpack one last time, the chatter of his teammates fading into a dull roar in his ears. He was the only out gay kid on the team, a fact that made every sideways glance feel like a blade's edge. "You seen my phone?" he asked, voice steady despite the panic clawing up his throat. The responses came quick, too quick. Denials laced with smirks from guys he'd called friends, but his gaze locked on Tyler Grant, the senior captain, whose broad shoulders tensed just a fraction too much. Tyler, with his easy grin and all-state jersey, the guy who'd clapped Alex on the back after every good play, now avoided his eyes, muttering something about checking the showers. Alex's stomach twisted. Trust, fragile as it was, had just fractured. By the time practice wrapped and the team spilled into the downpour, Alex was soaked to the bone, not just from rain, but from the dread settling in his gut. He trudged home through the drizzle-shrouded neighborhoods of Capitol Hill, the progressive heart of Seattle where rainbow flags fluttered defiantly from porches, yet whispers of judgment still slithered through the cracks. His mom, Elena, a single Latina artist with paint-stained hands and a fierce protective streak, was waiting in their cramped Victorian apartment, her worry lines deepening as he recounted the theft. "Track it, Mijo," she said, handing him her laptop. "And if it's one of those boys, well, we'll handle it like family does." The Find My iPhone app blinked to life, a red dot pulsing mockingly in the heart of Queen and across the city from school. Alex's mind raced. Whose house was that? He zoomed in, heart sinking as the address resolved. 1423, Gaylor Street. Tyler Street. The captain's sprawling craftsman home, where team barbecues had turned into late-night confessions under string lights, where Alex had first felt the spark of something dangerous and real in Tyler's lingering gaze. No, it couldn't be. Tyler, with his quiet defenses of Alex against the locker room jabs, the one who'd shared earbuds during bus rides, humming along to indie tracks that spoke of hidden longings. Betrayal burned hotter than the accusation. That night, sleep evaded Alex like a ghost. He lay on his twin bed, staring at the glow-in-the-dark stars his dad had stuck up before the divorce, memories flickering like faulty film reels. Coming out sophomore year had been a battlefield, his father's absence a void that amplified every slur, every averted gaze from extended family back in LA. But Tyler had been different, a straight ally or so Alex had believed, until those unguarded moments. A hand on his shoulder that lingered, eyes that traced his profile when he thought no one noticed. Was it all a facade? By dawn, resolve hardened in Alex's chest. He'd confront him. Alone. The next morning, Roosevelt High buzzed with the pre-bell chaos of the quad, evergreens dripping from overnight rain, the Space Needle a hazy silhouette against the slate sky. Alex spotted Tyler by the vending machines, laughing with his crew, Jake the loudmouth point guard, and Mia, the cheer squad's sharp-tongued vice president, who'd always eyed Alex with a mix of curiosity and caution. Mia was out and proud, her pride pin glinting like a challenge on her Letterman jacket. She'd been the one to pull Alex aside last year, whispering, "You're not alone here." Her words a lifeline in the sea of indifference. "Hey," Alex said, sidling up, his voice low to cut through the din. Tyler turned, that grin faltering into something guarded. "About my phone." "Man, I haven't seen it," Tyler cut in, too smoothly, his blue eyes flicking away. Jake snorted, clapping Tyler on the back. "Probably dropped it chasing that fairy tale crush of yours, Rivera." The slur landed like a slap, Jake's casual cruelty a reminder of the undercurrents Alex navigated daily. Mia shot Jake a glare, her dark curls bouncing as she stepped forward. "Knock it off, Jake." "Alex, let's check lost and found together after Kim." But Alex's focus stayed on Tyler, searching for the crack in the armor. It's pinging at your place, Ty? Gaylor Street. The name hung between them, heavy as the fog rolling in from the sound. Tyler's face drained of color, his jaw clenching. What? That's impossible. I was home last night, but... He trailed off, glancing at his phone as if it might bite. The bell rang, shrill and unforgiving, scattering the group. Meet me after school, Tyler muttered, close enough that Alex caught the faint scent of his cedar cologne, a scent that now twisted the knife. Classes dragged like anchors. In English, dissecting the Great Gatsby, Alex's mind wandered to his own illusions. Tyler's straight-laced facade hiding what? During lunch, he confided in Mia at their usual corner table in the cafeteria, the one with the view of the rain-lashed football field. I think it's him, Alex admitted, poking at his soggy fries. Mia's eyes narrowed, her fork pausing midair. Tyler's not like that. Remember homecoming? He ditched the after-party to drive you home when you were freaking out about your ex. Her voice softened, laced with her own scars. Mia had lost friends to bi erasure, whispers calling her confused, until she fought back with poetry slams that left audiences breathless. People change, Alex said, but doubt not. His ex, Jordan, a fleeting summer romance with a theater kid who'd ghosted after parental pressure, had taught him that. Yet Tyler felt different, deeper, a friendship teetering on the edge of more, unspoken tensions that hummed like live wires. As the final bell tolled, Alex waited by Tyler's truck in the parking lot, the lot emptying under a sky-threatening thunder. Tyler pulled up in his beat-up Ford, window down, expression stormy. Get in. They drove in silence, wipers slapping rhythmically, the city blurring past. Pike Place's fish-throwing frenzy a distant echo, the ferries cutting through Elliott Bay like white knives. At Tyler's house, a sprawling two-story with ivy-cloaked walls and a basketball hoop scarred from endless games, they burst through the back door into the kitchen. Tyler's mom, a harried realtor with a warm smile, waved from the counter. Boys, pizza later. Tyler mumbled assent, dragging Alex upstairs to his room. Posters of NBA stars peeling at the edges, the air thick with teenage limbo. Look, Tyler said, tossing his keys on the desk. I swear, it's not me. But if it's here. He yanked open his gym bag from last night. And there it was. Alex's phone, screen spiderwebbed but intact, nestled like contraband. Tyler's hands shook as he held it out. How? I didn't. Alex snatched it, thumbing the power button, relief warring with fury. But as the lock screen bloomed, his wallpaper of the Seattle skyline at dusk, his blood ran cold. Notifications flooded in, but worse, the Photos app, remotely accessed somehow, showed new captures. Selfies? No. Candid shots. Tyler asleep on his bed, mouth slack, vulnerability etched in the rumpled sheets. Then another. Tyler in the locker room mirror, shirtless, abs taut from drills, but his eyes haunted, staring back as if confessing. What the hell? Alex breathed, scrolling. More images. Tyler at a pride rally last June, arm slung casual over Alex's shoulder, but cropped to hide the crowd. A video thumbnail. Tyler's voice, low and raw. I can't keep pretending, Alex. Not with you. The clip played on loop in Alex's mind before he could stop it. Tyler's confession. Filmed secretly, time-stamped last week during a sleepover that had ended in awkward silences and stolen glances. Tyler sank onto the bed, head in hands. Jake. It has to be Jake. He crashed here after practice, said he was grabbing his charger. That bastard. Rage flickered in Tyler's eyes, but beneath it, something rawer, fear. He must have seen everything. Alex's world tilted. Jake, the joker with the razor wit that cut too deep, the one who'd accidentally outed a freshman last year with a locker room prank. But why? Jealousy? Or something uglier, rooted in the small-minded bigotry that festered in Seattle's underbelly, where progress masked pockets of prejudice. We confront him, Alex said, voice stealing. Together. But as they plotted, Tyler's hand brushed Alex's, lingering. Electricity sparked, unspoken words hanging like storm clouds. I'm sorry, Tyler whispered, for not saying it sooner. The air thickened, charged with the weight of revelations yet to come. The confrontation brewed like the thunder rumbling over the Olympics. But first, Alex needed air, space to process the photos that had upended everything. He pocketed his phone, the device now a Pandora's box of truths, and bolted from Tyler's room, mumbling about needing to think. Downstairs, Tyler's mom pressed a slice of cold pizza into his hand. Fuel for the fight, kiddo, her intuition sharp as a mother's radar. Alex nodded thanks, stepping into the backyard where the rain had softened to mist, the grass a sodden carpet underfoot. He scrolled through the gallery again, heart hammering. The images weren't just invasive, they were intimate, capturing Tyler in unguarded moments that screamed vulnerability. One photo, Tyler at his desk, sketching, not the expected play diagrams, but abstract swirls in blues and grays, a hidden artist's soul Alex had never glimpsed. Another, a close-up of Tyler's nightstand, a dog-eared copy of Giovanni's room peeking from under a jersey, Baldwin's words on love's quiet rebellions a silent declaration. Alex's throat tightened. He'd lent Tyler that book last spring, a tentative bridge after a heated debate in history class about Stonewall. Read it, he'd said. See what it's like to hide who you are. Tyler had devoured it, returning it with margins filled in pencil, questions, not judgments. Was Tyler gay? Bi? The labels blurred in Alex's mind, but the possibility ignited a hope he'd buried under layers of self-preservation. After Jordan's abandonment, Alex had sworn off crushes on straight boys, the pain of unrequited glances too sharp. Yet here was proof, stolen and damning, that Tyler's defenses weren't ironclad. But Jake, why him? The point guard's barbs had always carried an edge, especially after Alex joined the team, his presence disrupting the bro-code equilibrium. Last month, during a scrimmage, Jake had fouled Alex hard, muttering, "Stay in your lane, princess," under his breath. Mia had overheard, pulling Alex aside later. Jake's dad is that councilman pushing the anti-trans bill. Poison runs deep. Alex's phone buzzed. Mia, texting, heard about the phone. Meet at Brood Awakening? Need backup? He smiled faintly. Mia was his anchor, her bisexuality a banner she'd waved through her own storms. Her girlfriend, Lena from the debate team, had moved to Portland last summer, leaving Mia adrift, channeling heartbreak into fierce advocacy. They'd bonded over late-night vents at the coffee shop, steam rising from lattes like shared secrets. He replied yes, pocketing the device and heading out, the mist beating on his lashes. Brood Awakening sat nestled in a brick-faced alley off Broadway, fairy lights twinkling in the windows like fireflies trapped in amber. Inside, the aroma of roasted beans and cinnamon scones wrapped around him, a brief reprieve. Mia waved from a corner booth, her notebook splayed open to a half-finished poem, verses twisting like vines around themes of fractured identities. "Spill," she said, sliding him a black coffee, strong as her stare. Alex recounted it all, the ping, the discovery, the photos, his voice dropping to a hush as baristas frothed milk behind the counter. Mia's eyes widened, then narrowed in calculation. "Jake's threatened by you. By us. Tyler's been pulling away from the straight pack since you two started hanging. It's sabotage." She tapped her pen against the table, rhythm sharp. "But those pics, they're gold. Proof he's not the thief, but more. You gonna tell him you saw?" Alex hesitated, stirring sugar into his cup, granules dissolving like dissolving doubts. What if it's not just Jake? What if Tyler knew? The question hung, laced with the fear of Hope's backlash. Mia reached across, squeezing his hand, platonic, steady. "Talk to him. Real talk. We've all got masks, ripping them off hurts, but it's how we breathe." Back at school the next day, the halls thrummed with the rhythm of lockers slamming and laughter echoing off linoleum floors, but tension coiled in Alex's chest like a spring. He caught Tyler before homeroom, pulling him into the stairwell, the door creaking shut behind them. Fluorescent lights buzzed overhead, casting harsh shadows that mirrored the divide between them. "I saw the photos," Alex said, no preamble, his back against the cool concrete wall. Tyler froze, color flooding his cheeks. All of them. The silence stretched, broken only by distant chatter. Then Tyler exhaled, ragged, leaning against the railing. "Jake must have scrolled through my camera roll too. Bastard synced it or something. Our phones linked from that group chat glitched last month." "But the video," Alex pressed, voice barely above a whisper. "You said You can't pretend. With me. The words tumbled out, raw and reckless, hanging in the stale air. Tyler's eyes met his, blue depths swirling with storms, fear, longing, resolve. I meant it. Have for months. But my dad's. He's like Jake's, old school, man-up bullshit. And the team. Alex stepped closer, the space between them electric, breaths mingling. Screw the team. Screw the masks. His hand lifted, hesitant, brushing Tyler's knuckles. The touch ignited, a spark jumping the gap. Tyler didn't pull away. Instead, he closed it, forehead resting against Alex's, the world narrowing to this shadowed nook. I'm scared, Tyler admitted, voice cracking, of losing you before I even have you. In that vulnerability, something shifted, a bridge forming over the chasm of misunderstanding. But the moment shattered as footsteps echoed up the stairs. Jake rounded the corner, smirk in place, basketball under his arm. Lovebirds. Cute. Miss me. His eyes darted to their joined hands, the smirk twisting into something feral. Tyler's grip tightened. You stole his phone, Jake. Snuck pics to what, out me? Ruin us. The accusation flew, laced with betrayal's venom. Jake laughed, but it rang hollow, his posture shifting uneasily. Prove it, Grant. Or cry to coach like the fag you are. The slur whipped out, vicious, but Alex saw the flicker, panic in Jake's eyes, the bluff of a boy cornered by his own hate. Mia appeared then, materializing like a guardian, phone in hand recording. Got that on video, asshole. And I've got friends in the GSA who'll love this for the assembly. Her voice was ice, unyielding. Jake paled, backing away, but not before Tyler lunged, shoving him against the wall, not to hit, but to pin, faces inches apart. Why? We were brothers, man. Jake's facade cracked, tears welling unbidden. Because you're leaving me behind. All of you, finding your truths, and I'm stuck in this hell of pretending it's fine. Dad's rants, the pressure. Stealing that phone was stupid. Yeah, but those pics? I took them to show you what you're becoming. To pull you back. The confession hung, a tangled web of pain and projection. Empathy warred with anger in Alex's chest. Jake wasn't just the villain. He was the casualty of unchecked bigotry, a mirror to the prejudices he'd internalized. It's not about pulling back, Alex said softly, stepping forward. It's about stepping up. For yourself. Jake wrenched free, fleeing down the stairs, but the damage lingered, a rift that demanded mending. As the bell rang, Tyler turned to Alex, gratitude and something deeper shining in his eyes. Thank you for seeing me. But the day's dramas were far from over. In the cafeteria, whispers spread like wildfire. Jake's outburst dissected in hushed tones, alliances shifting like sand. Lena, Mia's ex, had texted from Portland. Heard the tea. Fly safe, Seattle squad. Mia laughed it off, but Alex caught the wistful glance, her own heart a battlefield of healed wounds. After school, the group convened at the park overlooking Lake Union, houseboats bobbing like forgotten dreams on the water. Tyler and Alex sat on a weathered bench, shoulders brushing, the contact a quiet claim. Mia paced, plotting, we report the theft. But Jake, he needs help, not just punishment. There's that youth center, out northwest, maybe drag him there. Tyler nodded, but his gaze lingered on Alex, weighted with unspoken promises. Dinner tonight? My treat. No masks. The invitation trembled on the edge of a date, and Alex's yes was a leap, heart soaring despite the storm clouds gathering anew. Little did they know, Jake's desperation had deeper roots, a family secret unraveling, one that would drag them all into a maelstrom of revelations. Dinner at Tyler's unfolded under the glow of Edison bulbs strung across the back patio, the scent of grilled salmon and cedar smoke weaving through the evening air. Tyler's dad, a stoic engineer with calloused hands and a mustache that hid his smiles, manned the grill, gruff but not unkind, his nods to Alex carrying the weight of tentative acceptance. Heard you boys had a dust-up, he rumbled, flipping fillets with tongs. Handle it like men. Talk, don't fists. Tyler shot Alex a look, half apologetic, half relieved. Coming out to his father was a conversation still simmering on the horizon. They ate at the picnic table, plates heaped with sides from the farmer's market, quinoa salad flecked with feta, asparagus charred just right. Conversation flowed easy at first, dissecting the Mariners' latest slump, debating the merits of Nirvana versus Pearl Jam in Seattle's grunge pantheon. But undercurrents pulled, Tyler's foot nudging Alex's under the table, a secret Morse code of connection. When his dad retreated to the den for a game, the air shifted, charged with possibility. About earlier, Tyler started, clearing plates, his voice low as they stacked them by the sink. Alex leaned against the counter, suds from rinsing dishes bubbling between them. The video. I recorded it for myself. A way to say it out loud without the risk. He dried his hands on a towel, twisting it like a confession. You're the first person who's made me want to risk it all. Alex's pulse thrummed, the kitchen's warmth amplifying the heat rising in his cheeks. I felt it too. The pull. But after Jordan, I built walls. He reached out, tracing Tyler's wrist, the vein there jumping under his touch. Their eyes locked, and in that suspended breath, Tyler closed the gap, lips brushing Alex's in a kiss tentative as first light, soft, searching, tasting of salt and promise. It deepened, hands finding waists, but they pulled back, breathless, foreheads pressed. Slow, Alex murmured. We deserve that. The night ended with a walk along the block, hands brushing but not holding, the city lights reflecting off puddles like scattered stars. Tyler's text later, can't stop smiling. Night, Braveheart, lured Alex into sleep, dreams laced with hope's fragile wings. But dawn brought the backlash. Monday's assembly in the gym was a powder keg, bleachers packed with restless teens under banners proclaiming unity in diversity. Principal Hargrove, a silver-haired woman with a no-nonsense bob, took the mic. We've had an incident. Theft and harassment won't stand here. Whispers erupted, Jake's name on every tongue. He slouched in the back row, hoodie pulled low, isolation a cloak. Alex sat with Mia and Tyler, their trio a defiant knot amid the sea of faces. When Hargrove called for witnesses, Mia stood, voice steady. It was Jake. But it's bigger, prejudice disguised as pranks. The gym hushed, her words landing like stones in still water. Jake bolted then, chair scraping, vanishing through the side doors into the quad. They found him by the track, hunched on the bleachers, rain starting to patter on the metal roof. Tyler approached first, Alex and Mia flanking. Talk to us, Tyler said, sitting beside him, the old camaraderie a ghost between them. Jake's shoulders shook, not from cold, but sobs racking his frame. You don't get it. Dad found my search history, queer stuff, curiosity crap. Beat the hell out of me. Said he'd send me to conversion camp if I turn like you freaks. Stealing the phone. It was panic. To delete evidence. But I saw your pics, Ty. Made me jealous of your courage. The admission cracked open like thunder, vulnerability pouring out. Alex knelt, eye level. That's not jealousy, man. That's pain. And you lashed out. At us, at yourself. Mia nodded, her own history echoing. My family disowned my aunt for being lesbian. I know the poison. But there's antidotes, groups, therapists who get it. Jake wiped his face. Raw? What now? Suspension? Worse. Tyler clapped his shoulder, firm. We vouch. Community service at the center. But you own it. Apologize, learn. The olive branch extended, fragile but real, and Jake grasped it, nodding through tears. Word spread, the school's underbelly stirring. By lunch, petitions circulated for a mandatory allyship workshop, Mia at the helm, her passion a beacon. But shadows loomed. Jake's dad, Councilman Hargrove, no relation to the principal, but influential, phoned the office, demanding his son's rights. Rumors swirled of lawsuits, of queer kids targeted next. That afternoon, Alex's mom picked him up early, her artist van splattered with murals of vibrant abstracts. Proud of you, Mijo, she said, hugging him tight in the driveway. But be careful, the world's not all rainbows. Her words lingered as he headed to the youth center, volunteering with Tyler for the after-school art program. Kids younger than them, navigating their own awakenings, painted murals of acceptance, dragons with pride flags for wings, oceans of diverse faces. There, amid crayons and canvases, Tyler stole a moment, whispering, "This? Us. It's worth every fight." Their fingers intertwined under the table, a vow sealed in colored chalk. Yet, As evening fell, a new twist unraveled. Mia's phone buzzed with a leaked audio. Jake's voice, slurred and angry, from a party last weekend. Those gays think they're heroes? I'll bury 'em. Context missing, it painted Jake as irredeemable, igniting a firestorm online. Hashtags trended: Roosevelt hate, protect queer kids, drawing national eyes to Seattle's supposed sanctuary. Alex's heart sank. Progress, fragile, teetered on the brink. The online storm hit like a squall off the Pacific, waves of outrage crashing against Roosevelt's digital shores. By Tuesday morning, the local news van idled in the parking lot, reporters circling like gulls over chum. Alex scrolled through his feed in homeroom, stomach churning at the clip's viral spread. Jake's words twisted into a manifesto of malice, comments piling on. Another straight boy playing oppressor. Expel him now. Tyler's texts pinged relentlessly. This is bullshit. He's trying. But doubt crept in, the audio's venom eroding the fragile truce. Mia convened an emergency huddle in the GSA room, posters of Harvey Milk gazing down like stern ancestors. We fight smart, she declared, pacing the rainbow-festooned space. Leak the full context. Jake was drunk, venting family crap. But pair it with his apology. She drafted a statement, fingers flying over her laptop, weaving vulnerability into accountability. Alex contributed, his edits sharpening the emotional core. Hate isn't born, it's taught. Jake's learning to unlearn. Tyler arrived late, disheveled from a dawn run, his usual poise frayed. Dad saw the news. Thinks it's drama over nothing. Won't talk. The weight of paternal silence pressed on him, a mirror to Alex's own absentee father, whose sporadic calls dripped with discomfort over that lifestyle. They huddled closer, a triangle of support, planning Jake's public reckoning. The assembly that week was electric, jam-packed tighter than a Sounders match. Hargrove opened with steel. We're addressing toxicity head-on. Jake took the stage, mic trembling in his grip, face pale under the spotlights. I messed up. Big time. The phone, the words, they came from a place of hurt I didn't know how to name. His voice cracked, raw as exposed nerves. My home. It's not safe for questions. But seeing Alex and Tyler, Mia, your strength? It shamed me. I'm sorry. And I'm getting help. The applause was tentative at first, then swelled, Mia's whoop cutting through. But not all eyes softened. Jake's dad, front row, arms crossed, radiated frost. As the crowd dispersed, he cornered Tyler in the hall, voice a low growl. You're poisoning him, Grant. Keep clear, or I'll pull strings. The threat landed, paternal power weaponized, and Tyler recoiled, texting Alex, need you. Now. They met at the waterfront, piers creaking under ferry wakes, salt air a bomb. Tyler paced the planks, recounting the confrontation, anger simmering to sorrow. He knew about the pics, called me weak for fraternizing. Alex pulled him into a hug, arms wrapping tight against the wind. He's scared too, of losing control. Their embrace lingered, evolving into a slow sway, the city's hum fading to heartbeat sync. We'll face it, Alex murmured. Together. But fractures spiderwebbed further. That night, Alex's mom hosted a family dinner. Extended kin via video from LA, aunts and uncles whose love came conditional, laced with prayers for his confusion. Elena shut it down, fierce. He's my son. Perfect as is. Yet the call left Alex hollow, retreating to his room where sketches of Tyler, pilfered from memory, filled his journal. One page, Tyler laughing, eyes crinkled. Another, shadowed, burdened. Art as therapy, strokes bleeding emotion. Wednesday brought an unexpected ally. Lena, Mia's ex, rolling into town unannounced, duffel slung over shoulder, Portland edge in her docks, and undercut. Heard the chaos. Figured you needed reinforcements. Mia's face lit, a mix of surprise and spark reigniting old flames. They crashed at Alex's, the apartment alive with laughter over Elena's tamales, stories of Lena's college queer collective clashing with Mia's high school battles. Love's messy, Lena said, toasting with soda. But worth the war. Emboldened, the group ambushed Jake's dad at the next council meeting, public comments slot a battleground. Tyler spoke first, voice steady. Mr. Ellis, Your son's not the villain. You're teaching him to hate parts of himself. Support, not silence. Jake flanked him, eyes pleading. The room murmured, cameras flashing, and for a heartbeat, Ellis faltered, hand twitching toward his son's shoulder before dropping. Backlash followed. Anonymous flyers in lockers. Ferry lobby strikes again. Crude cartoons of Alex and Tyler entwined, slurs scrawled in marker. The GSA room became a war room. Posters reinforced with tape, resolve hardening. Mia uncovered the source, a rival school's jocks, egged on by Ellis's allies. Counterpunch, she plotted. A pride flash mob in the quad, dancers from the theater troupe swirling flags, music pulsing with Lady Gaga's anthems. Alex choreographed a segment, movements fluid, reaching, recoiling, uniting, mirroring his arc with Tyler. Rehearsals stretched late, bodies sinking under gym lights, sweat and solidarity blending. Tyler's gaze during a lift, hands at Alex's waist, whispered volumes. This is us. Unbroken. The mob day dawned crisp, autumn leaves carpeting the quad like confetti. 200 strong gathered, beats dropping from a boombox, bodies moving in waves of color. Jake joined the circle, tentative steps evolving to full commitment, his presence a statement. Ellis watched from afar, expression unreadable, but whispers said he'd enrolled Jake in therapy, first crack in the facade. Yet, as cheers peaked, Alex's phone buzzed, a text from an unknown. Check your cloud. Truth hurts. Heart plummeting, he ducked behind the bleachers, logging in. More photos, uploaded anonymously. Intimate shots from the sleepover, Tyler's head on Alex's shoulder, misinterpreted as scandal. But worse, a doctored one, Jake's face superimposed, twisted into something damning. The leak hit socials instantly, twisting the narrative. Hypocrite Jake strikes again. Panic surged, but Tyler grabbed his hand. Fake. We'll prove it. Mia dove into forensics, Lena hacking timestamps with borrowed software smarts. Hours later, truth emerged. Ellis himself, desperate to discredit, using old campaign tricks. Confrontation at the Ellis home, group en masse, yielded a breakdown. Ellis crumbling, admitting fear of his own buried doubts, a youth of repression bubbling up. I see it now, he choked. In Jake. In you boys. Forgiveness wasn't instant, but a truce formed. Family counseling, public retraction. In the aftermath, bonds deepened. Tyler and Alex's first real date. A ferry ride to Bainbridge, sunset painting the sound gold. Sealed with a kiss on the deck, windswept and free. Mia and Lena, rekindling over vinyl at a Capitol Hill dive, found rhythm in second chances. But one shadow lingered. Alex's dad, phoning late, voice thick, saw the news. Proud. Maybe. Coming to visit. A twist unforeseen, healing's horizon brightening. The ferry's horn blasted as they docked, salt-kissed air clinging to their jackets. But Alex's mind lingered on his father's call. A olive branch or Trojan horse. Tyler sensed the shift, squeezing his hand on the walk back to the car. Whatever it is, you've got an army now. The drive home wound through island roads. Evergreens whispering secrets. Radio humming soft folk tunes that echoed their tentative harmony. Back in Seattle, the visit loomed like a storm front. Alex's dad, Marco, arrived Friday. Rental car pulling up to the Victorian with the squeak of unfamiliar tires. Tanned from LA's sun, salt and pepper hair cropped military, he enveloped Alex in a bear hug that smelled of aftershave and regret. Grown, kiddo. Too fast. Elena watched from the porch, arms crossed, her silence a shield. Dinner was a minefield, tacos Elena's specialty, conversation skirting edges. Marco probed gently. Team treating you right? Alex nodded, mentioning the phone saga in clipped tones. Stood up for myself. Friends too. Marco's eyes, so like Alex's, softened. Heard. Brave. But later, alone in the living room, the dam broke. I bailed when you needed me most. After you came out. Scared I'd ruin you more. Tears tracked his cheeks, vulnerability cracking the patriarch facade. Alex forgave, not fully, but enough. Arms around his dad, the void filling drop by drop. Word of the reconciliation rippled, strengthening the group's weave. Jake, in therapy's grip, opened up at the youth center, facilitating a session on family fractures. My old man's trying, he shared with wide-eyed kids. Apologies first, then action. Mia documented it for the school paper, her byline a badge, from shadows to solidarity. But equilibrium shattered mid-month. Tyler's phone, irony's cruel jest, vanished from his locker, last seen after practice. Panic echoed Alex's ordeal, the team fracturing anew. Not again, Tyler groaned. App pinging to an industrial address in Soto. Warehouses and warehouses, anonymous sprawl. They traced it together, hearts synced in dread. Mia and Lena riding shotgun. Jake in the back, redemption fueling his resolve. The warehouse district loomed, graffiti-tagged walls under sodium glow, rain sheeting like curtains. The dot led to a derelict loading bay, chain link rattling in the wind. Inside, shadows pooled, crates stacked like tombstones. "Hello," Alex called, voice echoing. A figure emerged, not Jake's dad, but Coach Harlan, the team's grizzled veteran, face etched with something feral. "Knew you'd come." In his hand, Tyler's phone, screen aglow with messages, screenshots of Tyler's confession video, forwarded anonymously. "You?" Tyler breathed, betrayal a gut punch. Harlan, who'd mentored him since Pee Wee Leagues, who'd preached team over self. "Why?" The coach's laugh was bitter, ragged. "Saw the signs. You, soft on Rivera. Ruining the brotherhood." His backstory spilled then, a torrent. Ex-wife left for a woman, custody lost to instability, resentment festering into crusade. Can't let it spread. The phone theft? To expose, to save Tyler from himself. Rage boiled, but Alex stepped forward, voice calm amid chaos. "This isn't saving. It's control. You've got your pain, we all do. But weaponizing it, that's the real ruin." Mia filmed discreetly, Lena alerting campus security via text. Jake, voice steady, added, "You taught us loyalty, coach. Show it now, step down, get help." Harlan crumpled, phone dropping with a clatter, sobs echoing in the hollow space. Police arrived swift, statements taken under flashing lights, the narrative flipping from teen drama to adult accountability. The fallout reshaped everything. Harlan suspended, school mandating staff sensitivity training. Tyler's dad, witnessing the arrest, pulled him aside. "I was wrong. About a lot." Coming out followed, tearful but embraced, a weight lifted. Alex and Tyler's bond deepened in the quiet aftermath, study dates in the library, knees touching under tables, whispers of futures, college scouts eyeing them both, dreams of shared dorms in progressive havens like UW. One evening, atop Gasworks Park, kites dancing against the skyline, Tyler knelt. Not proposal, but promise, a silver bracelet, engraved unmasked. "Forever starts here." Mia and Lena made it official, road trip south planned, healing on horizons. Jake, anchoring the team anew, scored the game winner against rivals, crowd chanting his name, redemption's roar. Yet, a final twist whispered, anonymous emails to Alex, veiled threats from Harlan's sympathizers. Not over. Paranoia nipped, but unity armored them. Graduation neared, caps and gowns a horizon of possibility, their story a testament, love's triumph over thorns. Graduation's eve painted Seattle in twilight hues, the Space Needle and needlepoint against bruised skies, but in the Rivera apartment, tension hummed like a taut string. The anonymous emails had escalated, grainy photos of Alex and Tyler at the park, captions dripping venom, "Watch your backs, deviants." Elena installed a ring cam, her artist's hands steady on the drill, but worry etched deeper lines. "We report," she insisted, filing with cybercrimes, but Alex felt exposed, the bubble of their hard-won peace punctured. Tyler crashed that night, sleeping bag on the living room floor, their talk stretching past midnight. Harlan's crew, Old Boys Network, Tyler theorized, tracing patterns on Alex's palm. "But we're louder now." Sleep came fitful, dreams of shadows chasing rainbows. Commencement dawned brilliant, UW's Husky Stadium a sea of crimson, families cheering under banners. Alex walked with Mia, Jake trailing as salutatorian, his speech a masterclass in growth. "We stumble, we rise, together." Tyler's valedictory followed, voice booming. "Prejudice is the thief, stealing voices. But love? It restores. His eyes found Alex's in the crowd, a private vow amid public thunder. Post-ceremony, the quad erupted in hugs and caps airborne, but joy soured when Alex's phone chimed. An email, subject, final warning. Attached, a video, shaky cam footage of Tyler's confession, timestamped fresh, location the warehouse. How? Alex gasped, showing the group huddled by the fountain. Lena's tech savvy kicked in, tracing the IP to a burner VPN, but breadcrumbs led to Harlan's brother, a disgruntled ex-cop nursing grudges. Family affair, Jake muttered, his own kin's redemption fresh. They confronted en masse at a neutral diner off Aurora, booths sticky with syrup ghosts. Harlan's brother, grizzled in flannel, waited with coffee gone cold. Not personal, he grunted, but eyes betrayed lies. Just protecting norms. The word hung, laden with outdated armor. Mia leaned in. Norms evolve. Yours? Extinct. Evidence presented. Logs, timestamps. Crumbled his denial. Drop it, or charges. Tyler pressed, steel in his spine. He folded, deleting files on the spot. A muttered sorry, the closest to surrender. Victory tasted bittersweet, the fight's toll evident in weary eyes. But as they spilled into the neon night, solidarity sang. Summer unfurled lazy, beach days at Alki, volleyball spiking over nets, laughter drowning doubts. Alex interned at a queer youth nonprofit, channeling art into workshops. Tyler coached juniors, instilling resilience. Mia and Lena's road trip yielded postcards of Grand Canyon sunsets, captions chasing horizons, finding home. One August dusk, Alex and Tyler hiked Discovery Park, trails winding through old-growth forest to bluffs overlooking the sound. At the overlook, waves crashing below, Tyler turned. College awaits, but this, us, it's the anchor. He pulled a sketch pad from his pack, pages filled with their story, caricatures of the crew, dramatic vignettes of thefts and truths. Our epic. Alex laughed, tears pricking, adding his flourish, a heart encircling all. The kiss that followed was sunset gold, deep and declarative, sealing chapters while promising volumes. Fall brought UW, dorms buzzing with new faces, orientations laced with pride mixers. Alex majored in psych, unraveling minds' knots. Tyler in education, molding futures. Weekends pulled them home, Mia's apartment a hub for game nights. Jake surprising +1, a quiet sophomore from debate, sparks tentative. Challenges lingered, microaggressions in lectures, family holidays strained, but growth fortified. Marco visited often, bonding over Mariners games, his I love you, son, unprompted now. Ellis mentored at the center, Jake's pride swelling. A year on, the stolen phone's anniversary passed unmarked, a relic of battles won. At a GSA reunion, stories swapped under string lights. Alex raised a toast. To thieves of hearts, not secrets. Tyler clinked glasses, eyes alight. And the loves that reveal us. Their journey, etched in resilience, unfolded endless. A tapestry of emotion, where every twist wove tighter bonds. Prejudices unraveled like frayed threads, leaving space for light.